A call for more federal funding for transit safety by Congressman Ritchie Torres tonight after a mass shooting in Mount Eden earlier this week. News 12's Brittany Cadet spoke to the congressman and got more on his plan to fight gun violence on the streets of New York City and the city's public transportation.
One of the root causes of gun violence here in the Bronx and throughout the city is the iron pipeline.
The iron pipeline is the term used to refer to Route I-95, where officials say is how ghost guns are transported to the city.
Even though New York City and New York State have the strictest gun laws in the country, state and local gun laws will only take you so far because guns can easily cross state lines.
The iron pipeline covers about 250 miles of rail that millions of New Yorkers rely on daily. Earlier this week, Congressman Ritchie Torres wrote a letter to the Committee of Homeland Security and Appropriations requesting an increase in the Transit Security Grant Program for the fiscal year 2024 budget.
Federal funding for transit security has fallen from $350 million to $93 million over the course of a decade.
And New York City only gets a portion of the $93 million. This request comes right after a mass shooting happened on the Mount Eden 4-line station platform earlier this week, where one man died and 5 others were left injured. On this platform, there was no police presence, but Torres says with more transit funding, it could have helped because first it was an altercation before shots were fired. The funding would also go to a bigger investment for surveillance equipment that could have aided police in their investigation after Frank James fired multiple rounds in 2022, piercing dozens on a subway in Sunset Park. Those cameras weren't working.
Ultimately, there is no substitute for federal legislation. We need Congress to legislate standards of gun safety.
In days to come, Congressman Ritchie Torres says he'll be meeting with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms to speak about the crackdown of the iron pipeline. In Mount Eden, Brittany Cadet, News 12.